She won't say it, but she knows. Women have a built-in radar for weakness. They don't need to think about it. They just feel it instantly. Before you even realize what you're doing, she's already picked up on the signals. You think you're being nice, she senses uncertainty. You think you're being patient, she sees hesitation. And once she decides you're weak, everything shifts. Respect fades. Attraction dies. And the worst part? You have no clue why. Because weakness isn't just about words or actions. It's deeper. It's in your presence. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you handle pressure. She might still smile, she might still be polite, but inside, she's already seeing you differently. Most men never figure this out. They keep making the same mistakes, wondering why things don't click, why they get friend-zoned, why women lose interest. But that won't be you. Because today, we're breaking it all down. The silent signals that kill attraction before you even get a chance. Let's dive in. Have you ever met a guy who just can't stop seeking reassurance? Always checking in, always asking, "Did I do okay? Do you still like me? Are you mad at me?" It's exhausting. And for women, it's an instant red flag, because deep down, she feels it. This guy lacks inner strength. He's not standing on his own 2 feet. He's not secure in himself. He's waiting for her approval, for her permission to feel good about who he is. And that kills attraction faster than anything. Women don't respect men who need constant validation. It's not about being cold, and it's not about never listening. It's about knowing your own worth without needing someone else to confirm it for you. If you're always adjusting yourself to fit what she wants, if you're walking on eggshells trying to keep her happy instead of standing firm in your principles, you're not leading, you're following. And whether she realizes it consciously or not, she's losing respect for you by the second. Now imagine the opposite. A man who never chases validation. A man who knows exactly who he is. He doesn't need a woman to tell him he's good enough. He's already decided that for himself. That kind of man doesn't beg for respect. He commands it just by the way he carries himself. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up wondering if people liked him. He didn't spend his days trying to win approval. He focused on one thing, being the best version of himself, no matter what anyone thought. And that's exactly what you need to do. Stop looking for reassurance. Trust your own judgment. Be the man who is steady, unshaken, unbothered. Because when a woman sees that you don't crumble when she pulls away, that you don't need her to validate you, that your confidence comes from within, she will respect you more. And respect, that's the foundation of attraction. Here's where it gets even worse. Because once you start seeking validation, once you show that you need her approval to feel secure, your emotions start riding a roller coaster that she never signed up for. 1 minute, you're fine. Next, you're overanalyzing her tone, her text, her mood. She pulls away slightly, and suddenly you're spiraling, snapping, arguing, reacting emotionally to things that shouldn't even faze you. And women feel that instability. They may not say it outright, but the moment they sense it, their respect for you starts to fade. A man who is ruled by his emotions, whether it's anger, jealousy, or desperation, becomes unpredictable. And unpredictability might be exciting in a movie, but in real life it signals one thing: weakness. Because if your emotions control you, then anyone can control you. A bad day can throw you off. A small rejection can shake you. A woman pulling back just a little, whether consciously or instinctively testing your strength, can send you into a panic. And in that moment, she sees it. She sees that you're not solid, that you're reactive, that your confidence isn't real, it's fragile, and it depends on external circumstances. Epictetus said it best, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Let that sink in. If someone can push your buttons and make you lose control, they own you. And women, they pick up on that faster than you think. A weak man takes the bait. He lashes out, he argues, he gets defensive. He lets his emotions dictate his response, proving that he is not in control of himself. But a strong man, he remains calm, composed, unshaken. Not because he doesn't feel emotions, but because he masters them instead of letting them master him. Next time you feel yourself about to react, pause, breathe, think, then respond. Not from a place of frustration, but from a place of power. Because the man who cannot be moved by trivial things, that's the man who commands respect. And when a woman sees that you don't crack under pressure, that you don't let emotions dictate your actions, her attraction for you only grows stronger. When a man is emotionally unstable, when he reacts instead of responds, it's usually because deep down, he has no solid foundation, no deeper sense of purpose, no bigger vision pulling him forward. And that's a silent killer of attraction. A man without a mission is a man without respect, not just from women, but from the world. Because if you're drifting through life, waiting for something to happen, hoping opportunities will just fall into your lap, people feel it. Women feel it. And the moment she senses that you have no clear direction, that you're just floating, passive, uncertain about your own future, she will not see you as someone worth investing in. She might tolerate it for a while, but deep down, her respect starts to fade. Remember, attraction isn't just about looks. It's not about saying the right words. It's about how you move through life. Have you ever seen a man walk into a room with absolute confidence? A man who doesn't need approval, who doesn't chase, who doesn't constantly look around to see how people are reacting to him. That kind of man draws attention without even trying. Why? Because he knows who he is. He knows what he's building. And that energy, it's magnetic. Now, compare that to the guy who hesitates, who's unsure, who waits for others to validate his choices before he makes a move. Which one do you think commands more respect? This is exactly what Marcus Aurelius understood. He didn't rule an empire by seeking respect. He earned it by committing to something greater than himself, by leading with clarity and purpose, no matter what others thought. And that's exactly what you need to do. So ask yourself, what are you building? What are you dedicating yourself to? If you don't have a mission, get one. If you don't know where you're going, start figuring it out today. Because the moment you stop waiting for life to happen and start making things happen, everything changes. Women notice, people notice, and most importantly, you notice. Before we dive into weakness number 4, we'd like to take a moment to thank you for staying with us halfway through this video journey. In every moment, we can learn and grow, and the fact that you are here listening and reflecting with us is a tremendous gift that I cherish every minute. To help us spread these valuable lessons to even more people, please hit the like and share buttons for this video. Each share is a small but meaningful act, much like the timeless lessons Stoicism offers. Let's continue exploring and embracing these everlasting pieces of wisdom together. Once again, thank you for your continued support. Here's where so many men get it wrong. They think that by being easygoing, by avoiding arguments, by saying yes to everything, they're making life smoother, that they're keeping the peace. But in reality, they're just showing fear. A woman asks, "Where do you want to eat?" You say, "I don't know, whatever you want." She makes a decision, but deep down she's thinking, why can't he just take the lead? You let things slide, you hesitate to speak up, you apologize when you haven't even done anything wrong. You avoid saying no because you don't want to upset her. And at first, maybe she tolerates it. But over time, that lack of decisiveness becomes unattractive. She might not say it outright, but she feels it. You're not standing for anything. You're just following. Because by trying to avoid conflict, you actually lose respect. Not just from her, but from everyone. If you can't hold your ground on the small things, how can she trust you to stand firm when it really matters? Women don't test men because they enjoy drama. They test because they want to know, can he handle pressure? Can he lead? Can he stand firm when things get tough? Stoicism teaches that real courage isn't about being aggressive or dominating others. It's about standing firm in what matters. It's about calm, steady confidence. A strong man isn't afraid to say no when necessary. He isn't afraid to take a stand. He doesn't avoid tension just to keep the moment comfortable, because he understands that long-term respect is worth more than short-term ease. So ask yourself, have you ever agreed to something just to keep the peace, only to regret it later? Have you ever hesitated to speak your mind because you didn't want to rock the boat? When you're avoiding conflict, you might feel easier in the moment, but in the long run, it weakens your presence, your confidence, and even your relationships. Women don't want a man who bends to every whim. They want a man who stands firm, who leads with quiet strength, who isn't afraid to say no when it matters. And when you start doing that, when you start valuing your principles more than temporary comfort, everything changes. And this is where so many men sabotage themselves without even realizing it. They meet a girl, feel that spark, and suddenly she becomes everything. She's all they think about. Every text from her feels like a win. Every delay in response feels like a crisis. And before they even see it happening, they've made her the center of their world. They text constantly. They respond within seconds. They plan extravagant dates before she's even earned that level of effort. They shower her with attention, thinking this will show her how much I care. But in reality, she sees weakness. Because women instinctively know when a man values them more than he values himself. And instead of making them feel special, it makes them uncomfortable. Why? Because it doesn't feel like genuine confidence. It feels needy. It feels like desperation. It feels like you're trying to prove your worth instead of simply owning it. A woman doesn't want to be the instant center of your world. She wants to be drawn into your world. She wants to discover who you are, not feel like she suddenly became responsible for your happiness. When you overinvest too soon, when you reveal too much, give too much, pursue too hard, you kill the mystery. You remove the excitement. You turn something that should build naturally into something that feels forced. A Stoic man understands this. He knows that love isn't about clinging. It's about connection without losing yourself. He doesn't let external factors, whether it's a woman's attention or approval, dictate his emotional state. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't need someone to complete him because he's already whole. And that quiet confidence, that's magnetic. So stop overinvesting. Let things develop naturally. The man who truly values himself doesn't have to prove his worth. He simply is valuable. And ironically, the moment you stop trying so hard to win her over, that's when she actually starts seeing your true value. Here's where so many men unknowingly drain the respect out of every interaction. They complain about their job, about their luck, about how life isn't fair. They vent about how nothing ever goes their way, how people don't treat them right, how women only go for guys with money, looks, or status. And in their mind, they think they're just keeping it real. But in reality, they're broadcasting weakness. Because nobody admires a man who wallows in self-pity. Women don't hear a guy complaining and think, wow, what deep emotional intelligence. No. They hear it and think, if he can't handle life's challenges, how can he handle me? Attraction isn't just about how a man looks or what he says. It's about the energy he carries. And a man who constantly plays the victim radiates defeat. Now, think about the opposite. The man who faces setbacks but doesn't break. The man who acknowledges the difficulty but never lets it define him. The man who, no matter how many times he's knocked down, gets back up, adjusts, and keeps moving forward. That's the kind of energy people, especially women, are drawn to. Because deep down they know life is unpredictable. They know hard times will come. And when they choose a man, they're not just choosing a boyfriend or a husband, they're choosing a leader. A leader doesn't sit around complaining about the storm, he navigates through it. And that's exactly what Stoicism teaches. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Life will test you, people will disappoint you, things won't always go your way. But the way you handle those moments, that's what defines you. The weak man complains, the strong man adapts. The weak man blames others, the strong man takes responsibility. The weak man lets problems consume him. The strong man finds solutions. So if life hits you hard, don't waste time complaining. Rise, adjust, keep moving forward. That's the kind of strength women and everyone respects. Here's the fastest way to make her lose interest. Hesitation, indecision, that constant, I don't know, what do you think energy. It doesn't matter how good looking you are, how successful you might be. If you hesitate when it's time to lead, if you overthink every move, if you constantly look to her for guidance instead of standing firm in your choices, attraction dies. Because here's what most men don't realize. Women don't want to lead you through life. They don't want to be the ones making all the decisions, setting the pace, or dragging you forward while you sit there, unsure of yourself. They want a man who knows what he wants and moves with purpose. A man who makes decisions and owns them. Not someone who freezes under pressure, second guesses himself, or waits for someone else to take the lead. And this isn't about being controlling. It's about being certain. There's a difference between a man who dictates and a man who simply knows where he's going. The first is insecure, overcompensating. The second is grounded, confident, and unshaken by doubt. Women feel that difference instantly. Because indecision is a form of fear. It's the fear of making the wrong choice, the fear of being judged, the fear of failure. But what does Seneca say? We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Overthinking creates problems that don't even exist. It paralyzes you. And every time you hesitate, every time you look to her to decide for you, you reinforce that fear. So stop waiting for the perfect answer. Stop hoping she'll decide for you. Step up and take the lead. Whether it's picking a restaurant, making plans, or taking action in your own life, make a decision and own it. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to trust that whatever happens, you can handle it. Because a man who trusts himself, who moves forward with certainty, who doesn't wait for permission to take action, that's the man women respect. And when she respects you, attraction follows. every single time. Attraction isn't about chasing or proving yourself. It's not about seeking approval or bending to fit someone else's expectations, and it's definitely not about arrogance or dominance. It's about self-mastery. A man in control of himself, his emotions, his actions, his purpose, doesn't need to demand respect. He embodies it. He moves with quiet confidence, makes decisions without hesitation, and leads without fear. And the moment you stop chasing, stop second-guessing, stop letting a woman's response define your worth, everything shifts. Women notice. People notice. But most importantly, you notice. You carry yourself differently. You walk with certainty. You stop trying to earn respect and start naturally attracting it. Because real strength isn't loud. It's steady, unshaken, undeniable. So ask yourself, are you in control or are you being controlled? At the end of the day, that's what separates the weak from the strong. Thanks for being with Stoic Heart on this journey today. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. We'd love to hear your thoughts or suggestions for future topics, so drop a comment below. See you in the next video.